Welcome to my final Stranger Things Season 1 episode review video. This, of course, is the Season 1 finale. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you are caught up to the point where I am and rewatching or watching Stranger Things, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which, of course, I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you find that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And full disclosure, thus far I've seen every single episode that's been released of Stranger Things. Obviously, looking forward to the fifth and final season of Stranger Things, which I'm hearing, and it's rumored to be coming out in November, although that has yet to be confirmed by Netflix or the people behind Stranger Things. Stranger Things is one of my favorite shows of all time. Somewhere in my top 20. I'm not exactly sure where it lands, but doing these detailed reviews and rewatching all the episodes leading up until season 5 will help me determine where Stranger Things ranks as far as my favorite TV shows of all time. It's probably more closer to top 10 than top 20, but I'm not entirely sure yet because when I rewatch shows, I have recency bias, so it just depends. Like, rewatching Shameless, really love Shameless other than the final 2 seasons. So that's like, my top 5 are kind of set in stone, and then like Shameless is probably number 6, and Stranger Things realistically could be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, somewhere in there. I don't know. But anyway, just doing these detailed reviews to get prepared for season 5 of Stranger Things, which I'm guessing when it finally comes out, they'll stop it for like a month and then have it roll into 2026. But with all that said, this will be Stranger Things Season 1, Episode 8, or Season 1, Chapter 8, the Season 1 finale. The title of this episode is called The Upside Down, and this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. So, in Hawkins National Laboratory, Brenner sits with a really pissed off Joyce, who wants retribution for the faking of Will's death. Hopper is repeatedly tasered and interrogated by Connie, who threatens to kill him and make it look like a drug overdose. Hopper tries to deal for their freedom to venture into the Upside Down and find Will in exchange for forgiving the lab's illegal activities. Jonathan and Nancy set up several traps for the Demogorgon in the Byers house, and Jonathan creates a weapon by hammering several nails through a baseball bat. Brenner agrees to Hopper's deal on the conditions that he gives up Eleven, and Hopper agrees so long as Mike, Dustin, and Lucas are not harmed. As the soldiers and scientists leave for Hawkins Middle School, Connie wonders what will happen if they find Will, which Brenner assures will not happen. Hopper and Joyce suit up and go through the lab's gate. As Joyce begins to panic once in the Upside Down, Hopper tries to calm her and remembers doing the same thing for his daughter Sarah when she had trouble breathing, the first sign of her cancer. Nancy and Jonathan slit their palms and end up holding hands. Before they can say anything, Steve knocks on Jonathan's door, wanting to apologize for fighting him. Noticing Nancy's split palm and the house state, Steve becomes confused and Nancy points her gun at him to get him to leave just as the lights start to flicker. The Demogorgon bursts out of the ceiling and runs into Will's room, or they run into Will's room, I should say, where they have set up a signal to alert them if it gets caught in a bear trap that they have set. The lights go back to normal and they realize it has vanished. Hopper and Joyce find a broken egg and ruins of Castle Byers. As Hopper looks at a stuffed animal among the planks of wood, he remembers Sarah having the same toy in the hospital. Steve flees the house but notices the lights flickering from outside and decides to go back in to help. The Demogorgon leaps on Jonathan, but is attacked by Steve with the nail bat. So Steve randomly becomes one of the best characters in Stranger Things from this episode on, as he steps up to the plate and essentially helps Jonathan and Nancy. He beats it into the bear trap, and Jonathan lights it on fire causing the Demogorgon to flee, badly wounded, to the Upside Down. Inside the Upside Down version of her house, Joyce hears Jonathan's voice, and Jonathan hears her presence signified by the lights. Mike invites Eleven to live with his family when Will is found. When she asks if it will be like her brother, Mike disagrees. He invites her to a school dance known as the Snowball and tries to explain the concept of a crush to her, failing and instead kissing her, leaving her stunned as he goes to investigate a car pulling up outside. He sees the lab agents emerge and runs back inside. Connie and several agents corner the kids, but Eleven kills them all by doing her telekinesis stuff, collapsing their brains. The efforts make her pass out. Eleven awakens to Brenner standing over her and her friends being restrained and asked to go with them instead of him. Drawn by the blood from the dead agents, the Demogorgon bursts out of the wall and kills the agents, attacking Brenner as the kids flee. Hopper and Joyce follow a trail of blood to the library where the bodies of several people and Will with a tentacle down his throat are. They pull it out and Hopper shoots the moving tentacle dead. Will is not breathing, so Hopper instructs Joyce on CPR, having her breathe into his mouth while he performs chest compressions. As he does, he remembers doctors unsuccessfully trying to resuscitate Sarah, pushing him harder to try until Will Byers breathes again. Mike promises a weakened Eleven that they will go to the Snowball together as the Demogorgon kills the rest of the soldiers. The Demogorgon enters the classroom and attacks the boys, but Eleven all of a sudden regains her power and pins it to a wall with her powers and tears it apart, tearfully saying goodbye to Mike before the force of her power vaporizes them both. As Karen arrives on the scene just as the police do, a distraught Mike hugs her. Will awakens in the hospital to his mother and brother at his side, the latter having brought him a new mixtape. Hopper, Karen, Steve, and Nancy all wait outside, along with an asleep Ted. Ted is a dumbass. Lucas and Dustin. The boys are sleeping on each other. Mike sits awake, deep in thought, until the boys are approved to see Will. They excitedly tell him of the events of the past several days, while Nancy leaves the room quietly distraught over Barb. Outside the hospital, a car pulls up and Hopper gets in. It's somebody from the Hawkins laboratory. And then on Christmas Eve, the boys are having another Dungeons and Dragons campaign in which they will fight the Tessa Hydra and win thanks to Will's fireball spell. As Jonathan picks Will up, Mike looks over Eleven's untouched blanket for it, sadly. And then on the way out, Nancy gives Jonathan a Christmas present. She got him, or on behalf of Steve, a new camera. She's actually back together with Steve now, which is a little surprising, but I mean, Steve was awesome in this episode. And then Hopper drives out to Mirkwood and places a plastic container and a plastic-wrapped package of Eggos in a wooden box. He had just went to the police station. They had like a little Christmas Eve, dinner party, and he went there to get some food. And then at the dinner party for Will's place, or Joyce's place, Will goes to the bathroom and vomits up a slug that slides down the drain before seeing a brief flash of the Upside Down place. He goes back out and continues the dinner, seemingly unfazed, and that's what ends Season 1 of Stranger Things. So a really good start to the show. I enjoyed Season 1 of Stranger Things when it aired, and now a lot. It's one of the better seasons, although there's a lot of good stuff in Stranger Things. There's not a terrible season. Season 2 is probably my least favorite from memory, and that's still a solid season. So I'm going to give this episode a 9.2 out of 10. My characters of the episode: Steve Harrington, epic turnaround. Talk about a quick redemption arc for him. Hopper, and 11. So you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Stranger Things and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash the like button, share the video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Stranger Things. What would you rate the episode, and who would you choose as characters of the episode? Come back to the channel for Season 5 of Stranger Things. I'll be doing reviews of all the episodes. I'm not exactly sure because most will be released at once. They'll probably do 5 at a time, I'm guessing. So I'll try to do them like one a day or one every other day or something like that. And I cover a lot of stuff on this channel. So if you're a fan of Dexter, Walking Dead universe stuff, make sure you come back to this channel for that stuff as well. I'll put some different video recommendations for Dexter right there and right there, and I'll put other video recommendations there. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel. You're watching the video anyway. Help me get over 100,000 subscribers, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special, and you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.